Hey y'all, I want to introduce you to one of the long-term projects that's been in the shop that's actually mine. When I first opened up my restoration business, which is where we're at right now, I had a company truck I was an electrician, and I wanted another truck and I wanted an older one, so I found this one. It was painted two-tone red and white, 390 C6. It's an XLT, red interior. It ran really good, drove really good. I used it as a company truck for the first year or two and put probably 10,000 miles on it. Then I got a newer truck, and this one I had to figure out what I wanted to do with it. It ran good, drove good, but previous owner had it in storage for a long time, and they'd laid something on the roof and on the hood that had trapped a bunch of moisture, probably blankets, something like that. I think it was probably in an outside, humid environment. It came out of Arkansas, and the roof had just absolutely just rusted apart. Top of the hood had as well. Floors were shot from water coming in through the roof, and somebody had thrown about a $5 weekend paint job on it. They fiberglassed the whole roof over, and there's fiberglass dangling, down an inch or two under there. You can just see the damage under there. It was really bad, and then it had some point in time had an engine fire and flaked a bunch of paint off the hood. And it had the holes you could just all across the front on the outside up here. The paint was just flaked off and rust coming through. But the damage was pretty much in the front floor pans, the roof, and the hood. Obviously was junk. I already got another hood. So I could have sold it for what I had in it, which was about $1,500. Probably in hindsight, the route I should have gone, but I decided I'd pull it in here, give it a quick once over, essentially just fix the rust, paint it, and kick it out the door. And as you can see, it's escalated to this, as projects tend to do. And when I pulled it in here and took it apart, it was going to be a relatively short-term project. And my business got really busy real quick, and this thing went on the back burner, and it sat in the corner of my shop with the front clip pulled off and basically complete. Other than that, engine and trans still in it for about 5 years. Just sat in the corner taking up space. So probably the last 2 years I did a little bit to it and not a whole lot, and then 6 or 7 months ago I finally got in there and really started getting busy with it. I got to get the thing out of here. So I've already done a complete roof skin replacement off of a donor truck. I've already done floor pan sections I cut out of a donor truck. I'll show you what I've done to the bed. This cab section is almost ready for the final coat of primer, and then I'm going to paint it. I've got a paint booth over here. I'll probably go back with the same red and white. The door still needs some work. Fenders, hood need work. The cab at least is close to being ready to paint. So I'll show you what I've got to do on the bed still. I had thought that the bed was pretty much ready for paint. It looked like it had original paint on the bottom here down, and then just some terrible paint on the top half, and I could see a bunch of damage in the top rails that had been used as a work truck for a long time. Been ripped apart. But it's come to the point where I need to get the thing done, and it's not going to be a full frame off. I don't plan on doing anything really with the chassis other than, you know, going through the brakes, cleaning it up. If anything, a rattle can black. I'm not doing anything to the bottom other than floor pan patches, make sure there's no rust. Then I'm going to sell it. So I'll show you what I've done to it and what I still have to do. I plan on doing a lot of paint and body metalwork stuff on this channel, and this being mine, I can work on it whenever I want. So you'll probably see a lot of small metalwork repairs and then priming and paint, the whole process. So if this ain't something you're into, then you just have to watch my other videos of bikes and trucks and semis, whatever. But if you like this sort of stuff or you want to learn, I'll teach you quite a bit of stuff. So I'll show you what else I need to do. The cab is pretty much ready to paint. Hasn't needed a whole lot of work. These were blown out, like on all four of them. Cut the sections out, replaced it. I did the whole roof skin. Basically split it there along the factory seam, up and across, and then across here, and across the back. Other than that, on the cab, we had cab corners. I've replaced those sections. Floor pans. This is just a lap weld. I mean, I prefer butt welding in most of my jobs, but for an old pickup truck that's just never really going to be worth a whole lot, or, you know, something I'm not planning on keeping for a long term, I'm just making it a good structural repair and then kicking her out the door. But like I said, those patches right there came from a parts truck, so it's super solid. It's also a factory air truck, so I probably will go ahead and get the air and stuff working when I get it closer to being complete. All right, so the bed for a long time still had its paint long after I had stripped the cab and was doing all the work on that. I thought the bed had factory paint on it from that trim down, and it just had a little bit of bubbling over both wheel well arches and in the back, and I could see visible damage up here where they'd hooked it and strapped it and winched it and all that crap. So I thought it was getting pretty close to being ready for paint after a sandblast, and before I had the thing blasted, I replaced a big section here. I replaced that. And then over here on the other side, this was the biggest repair panel I'd made. Well, I didn't make it. This section right here, all the way over the top and back down. And then of course, down here, this truck has not the racetrack trim, it's just got the trim here that stops. There's no piece along the top. But then I had it sandblasted. And I found all kinds of old repairs. It was terrible. There's the old school 70s, 80s, drill a hole and pull a screw, slide hammer repairs all over it. There were splits. This was just split out, overlapped, welded. It was horrible. I did a quick fix it up. It looks better in person than it does on camera. Still got a little hammering and dollying to do, but got the cracks all welded back up and just had random holes drilled in it. I don't know what for, all over it. A lot of these spots like here, and had a toolbox mounted in it. So I found all kinds of damage, so it was a little demoralizing, but is what it is. Tailgate, same story. Got some little holes there I'm gonna have to weld up. All that I'll probably do on the channel. the lower arch in this has got a big section that's blown out. So I'll show you everybody how to do that. This section here is caved in, slide hammer holes all over in it. It just huge dent here, big hole in it. This section also completely mangled. Required a lot of time and effort just to get it this far, and it ain't done. But this section, I already fixed this all the way across. It had been mangled and twisted and smashed. Now I'll show you what I'm gonna tackle first. This is papers on here. It says real big letters, don't touch. This being my business, people come in here all the time, and as soon as they see either bare metal or paint that looks like it could be wet, they're putting their hands on it. So you gotta clearly label it, you know, and then I still catch people coming in here putting their arms on it. It's like, come on. You can't touch blasted metal or bare metal or it'll rust up and you can almost watch it rust. Anyways, this is what I gotta fix first. I'm honestly not quite sure how I'm gonna tackle that, but I'm gonna set a camera up and just let you watch. I mean, it is just mangled all along that lip. I'm not going for a show quality truck, but this is pretty bad. They've just twisted it. I don't know. I don't even know how you do that. I assume putting straps on them with the straps upside down, but it's more of the same over here. Sounds like somebody's open presents at Christmas time. It's not as bad, but it does have some pretty good mangled sections in it. So I don't know if I'm just gonna try to hammer and dolly it out, get it squared up. I mean, it's wavy too. It's got a lot of up and down like this on the top. But this is gonna be fun. I'll set the camera up and record the whole thing and then just edit out the super boring stuff, which is in fact probably gonna be all of it. But anyways, just wanted to introduce you to this thing.